Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoded, the place where we pull back the curtain on the financial world. And today, wow, do we have a little bit of a story to tell. We're diving into something a bit different, a company raising funds in a way that might raise a few eyebrows. This isn't your typical quarterly earnings report disguised in a fancy dress. This is an 8K filing, and these are usually for really big, really important events. Think major business changes, like a merger, a bankruptcy, or in this case, a significant funding round. And the company we're looking at is OMNIQ Corp. Now, OMNIQ is a company that has been around, and you might recognize their stock ticker OMNQs on the OTC markets. But what is really interesting here is how they've decided to raise money. So the big news is that on the 8th of December 2025, OMNIQ Corp entered into an agreement to sell shares and something called pre-funded warrants to a group of investors. They managed to raise a total of $950,000. Now that might sound like a lot, but let's break it down. You are talking about 9.5 million shares and DIO warrants being sold at a price of just 10 cents per S-hair. When you sell something for only 10 cents, it usually means it is not the most attractive offer. And here is a juicy detail. The company's very own Chief Executive Officer, Shai Laskarten, put in $150,000 to buy these pre-funded warrants. That is his own money going into the company at this deeply discounted price. This filing also tells us about the exact number of shares and warrants they actually handed out. They sold a total of 9.75 million shares and pre-funded warrants. Breaking that down, they sold 2.75 million shares and 6.75 million pre-funded warrants. A pre-funded warrant is essentially a placeholder for a share that the investor will get later. So basically, they're selling a lot of potential future shares at a very low price. This is a common strategy for companies that need cash quickly and might not be able to attract investors at a higher price. They offer a lot of shares at a low price, or these warrants which represent an option to buy shares later. It is a way to get money in the door, but it can also signal a company is struggling to find more conventional financing. Remember, OMNIQ Corp is trading on the OTC market, that is the over-the-counter market. It is a less regulated market than the major stock exchanges, and generally stocks there can be more volatile and riskier. This type of funding round often happens with companies whose stocks are already trading at very low prices. Now let's try and think about what this all means. OMNIQ Corp needed cash, and they got it by selling a large number of potential shares at a very low price. This dilutes the value of the existing shares, meaning each share now represents a smaller piece of the company. If you own shares before this transaction, your ownership percentage just went down. The fact that the CEO himself is putting in a significant amount of his own money here can be seen in a couple of ways. On one hand, it shows confidence from leadership. On the other hand, it could also mean that external investors were hesitant to come in without the CEO also showing his commitment. So what is our take on this? OMNIQ Corp is in a cash crunch, and they've used a common but often concerning method to raise funds. The low price per S-hair and the use of pre-funded warrants suggest that attracting capital isn't easy for them right now. This could be a sign of underlying business challenges or simply a strategic move to fuel growth. However, investors need to be very cautious. Dilution is a real risk, and the value of existing shares can be significantly impacted by such offerings. The company's direction will depend heavily on how effectively they use this newly raised capital and whether they can improve their business performance to justify the investment. We'll be keeping a close eye on OMNIQ Corp to see if this funding round sets them on a path to recovery or further struggle. Alright, that is our breakdown of OMNIQ Corp's latest filing. What do you think about this funding strategy? Is it a smart move or a sign of trouble? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive valuable, give this video a like and subscribe for more corporate decoding. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more exclusive content and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.